or GTA 6. That is definitely a thing. C3, C2, and C1, of course, are the tires that are going to be using this race weekend. What's your guys' thoughts of Williams or Sainz to Williams? You guys know what I think about that. I'm of the. I'm not saying it's a bad move, even though I don't think it's a great move for him. What I'm saying is he shouldn't stay at McLaren. So yeah. Starting grid, we get P20 for Esteban Ocon, a very bad qualifying session for him again. Next to Franco Colapinto, next to Hulkenberg in P18, right behind Liam Lawson. Alex Albon will be starting in 16th place alongside Lance Stroll, the worst driver on the grid right now. P14 for Yuki Tsunoda, P13 for Valtteri Bottas, close to the points both of the Saubers. P12 for Zhou, second last race ever in Formula 1, 11 for Pierre Gasly in the other Alpine. Kevin Magnussen qualifying 10th, right behind Sergio Perez, who managed to get to Q3. That is a big achievement for P8 for Fernando Alonso in a race that he happens to look to at least have. Carlos Sainz 7th place for him. Lewis Hamilton will be starting in 6th after struggling in his car all through the weekend. P5 for Charles Leclerc in the Ferrari, P4 and P3 for McLaren. That's Oscar Piastri right behind his teammate Lando Norris.
Good evening, wherever you are in the world. QATAR Grand Prix coming up. I have started my stream a couple of minutes earlier than usual. Of course, with McLaren 30 points ahead of the Constructors, I think we could be seeing a new Constructors champion today. A team that's not won the Constructors since 1998, and let's face it, this really does feel a bit ominous because I don't really think Ferrari have got any more tricks up their sleeve for this season. I mean, Leclerc and Sainz 5th and 7th, sandwiching Hamilton, a 2025 driver for the Maranello. So, I don't really know what to say, to be honest, about Ferrari. They've had a good season, considering their car's not been super quick, and the fact that McLaren obviously have a better car. I think they're surely got to be. They're going to start their formation like around 10 seconds time. Actually, 20 seconds. The formation lap is underway. Pole sitter Russell ahead of quadruple champion Max Verstappen from Holland of Red Bull. Lando Norris and Ocon Piastri are on the second row for McLaren. Leclerc on the fifth row for Ferrari, alongside 2025 teammate Lewis Hamilton, who is driving his penultimate race for Mercedes. Fourth row is an all-Spanish fourth row with Sainz in his penultimate race for Ferrari before he leaves for Williams and Aston Martin. Double world champion Fernando Alonso. Ninth place is Perez from Mexico, alongside Kevin Magnussen of Haas from Denmark, who is most likely in his in his penultimate Grand Prix start, I beg your pardon, before, as he has no drive for 2025, I'm afraid. Gasly is in 11th place alongside Chinese driver Zhou Guanyu for Stake Sauber, and of course it apparently does appear as if this is probably going to be Zhou's penultimate Grand Prix start in his career, just ahead of teammate Valtteri Bottas. Likewise, has no seat for 2025 and is probably heading for Mercedes. Alongside Tsunoda of the Junior RB team, 15th Stroll of Aston Martin, 16th Alex Albon representing Thailand, driving for Williams. New Zealand's Liam Lawson is in 17th, alongside Hulkenberg for Haas, who is usually very good in qualifying, but yesterday was a rare off day for the German veteran. And on the last row of the grid, Argentina's Franco Colapinto will start alongside for Williams, alongside 2021 Hungarian Grand Prix winner Esteban Ocon of Alpine. And Alpine will be dumping Renault engines for Mercedes next season. And the race is off. Side-by-side action. What's going on? No. Verstappen and Norris, first and second. Crazy stuff. Verstappen takes the lead. Norris is in second. Russell down to third. Hamilton down to 10th. Gasly's lost 4 positions. Oh no. Bad start for Hamilton. Great start for Perez. Sainz is up to 5th. Oh, Ocon and Colapinto have hit each other. And it's yellow flags waving at turn 1. Oh, we got a safety car. Safety car. Just as we update the order. Verstappen down the inside of George Russell. Rashford Xerxes bullying an Everton team that is going to be fighting relegation as always. So, I mean, Colapinto accident, yeah. Colapinto and Ocon out of the race at turn 1. Colapinto really is struggling now, isn't he? He's not quite what we all hyped him up to be. And the safety car will come out in front of Verstappen, the new race leader. Norris, I think McLaren, where they are. Norris in second, Piastri 5th. 28 points in the bank. Whilst Ferrari are currently sitting on 20 points for this race, meaning that McLaren, I think, are now officially only need 7 points from Abu Dhabi to seal the Constructors' title if it stays as it is. So, advantage McLaren in the Constructors' battle, and I have to say, if it stays as it is, I think it's almost a near certainty McLaren are going to make it their first Constructors' win since 1998, I beg your pardon, since, of course, McLaren have not won a Constructors' title in the 21st century. Surprise, surprise. Stroll went into pits, and so is Hulkenberg. So, Yeah. Vassar's done well to take this car to a title decider, a constructor's title decider. Well, they've been a bit lucky with McLaren's mishaps. By the way, I did watch the first half an hour of Solihull Balls versus Bromley, and then I realised these two teams actually played each other in the National League in the 5th Division, so it's actually a bit of a muted affair down there because they're actually quite familiar with each other, and I don't know, I mean, Solihull Balls seem to have a stadium that belongs more in a football league, weirdly enough, because it's actually, I think, Vauxhall used to own Solihull Balls. But anyway, enough of the football. The crowd noise at Kettering was way better. Thank goodness I got to see it on the BBC. I think the BBC chose Kettering because they knew the crowd noise would be fantastic down there. Max Verstappen, I mean, he doesn't need the points. He doesn't need the win. But of course, he just wants to stat pad again and show everyone who's boss. Russell, woeful start. Liverpool and Man City are playing. Yes, I know that's a huge game of football. Hence why I'm watching the Qatari Grand Prix because, I mean, let's be honest. Even if Liverpool lose, they're still going to be leading the Premier League. So whatever, it doesn't mean as much to me as the FA Cup because, as you all know, in a cup tie, if you lose, you're out. You don't get to play again. I mean, in the Premier League, I mean, if Liverpool lose, then I don't know, they get to play another 28 games or whatever it is. So I don't really care enough. Until, of course, it gets to the last 10 games of the season, where, of course, I'm then become a lot more interested. Hulkenberg currently running last. Ocon and Colapinto having their cars cleared off the track. Bottas and Zhou. Zhou had a dreadful start, down to 15th. Yeah, that guy isn't really that particularly great, is he? No consistency. Gasly, I'm trying to think, he started 11th, but he's dropped to 12th. Tsunoda's up to 10th. Great start by Yuki. Terrible start by Hamilton, mind you. Decent start by Perez. A good start by Piastri, who frankly has been hamstrung by his mediocre qualifying. Actually, a bit of action here at QATAR. By the way, I used to get so confused why Alonso's name used to trend on Twitter all the time, and then I realised he shares the same surname as a footballer whose surname begins with Alonso, who played as a left back for Chelsea. I keep forgetting his name now. Spanish international, who of course served a suspended prison sentence for manslaughter a decade ago when he was playing for Bolton. I keep forgetting the lanky guy's name now. Random stat. I wrote Marcus Alonso, yes. How did he not serve a longer sentence? I do not know. Nick Hulkenberg has the fastest lap, but of course that's because he's sped up to catch the back of the pack. 5 seconds faster than everyone else, apparently. But it is a 2-minute 11.639, if you're wondering, from my timing screens. And of course, Stroll and Hulkenberg have gone to the hard tyres, whilst the rest of the grid are using mediums. So, I mean, safety car will be in this lap. Got about another 5 corners to go before the safety car pulls off the track and allows us to go green flag racing. All I can say is I cannot bear another minute of watching Pep Guardiola snowball. And now that Rodri's out of the team, he's getting exposed. So I've got to say, I actually did enjoy watching the ball getting booted in the air when I was watching Kettering play Doncaster. I don't know. I think Barcelona's small squad is definitely catching up with them now in the La Liga. I think they've only got like 19 first team players on their whole squad. So, yeah, not good. Verstappen leads the way at the green flag. Everyone's accelerating again. Piastri's fourth. Hamilton overtakes Alonso. Hulkenberg steams past Stroll as predicted. Tsunoda takes Alonso. Alonso's had a terrible restart. Bottas. Oh my God, what's going on with Bottas? Lawson down to 18th. Lawson lost a few positions and has gone off the track. My God, Hulkenberg, a fastest lap of a 2:06 there. Of course, we're going to see the lap times tumble again. But in the front, I mean, Piastri's up to 4th place. 4th place is Piastri. My goodness me. So that's now got to be 30 points in the bank for McLaren. And Ferrari have just 18 points. And McLaren are edging closer to their first Constructors' title for 26 years. And what will be their first Constructors' Championship win of the 21st century. That is incredible stats. Magnussen overtakes Alonso for 10th. My God, what a dreadful restart Alonso's had. It's just not happening for McLaren anymore. I mean, Aston Martin, I beg your pardon. Alonso 12th. I don't know what's happening to Alonso. Thank you for telling me about the Liverpool score. Liverpool going to win the title. 26.7 for Max Verstappen. Very fast. Very quick, I've got to say, considering there's going to be a lot of tyre degradation with the hot temperatures at Qatar. I mean, as it stands, McLaren don't need to win. All they have to do is just extend their gap over Ferrari, and I think the title in the Constructors will be theirs. I mean, for Norris, I think this is going to be a lot easier for Lando Norris because he's not thinking about trying to beat Max Verstappen. He's just thinking about scoring points for the team, and I think this is where Lando Norris is most comfortable. Driving his own race. Not being concerned necessarily about what Max is doing. And I think this is probably going to play into Lando's hands today because there will be no mind games or any trickery. It's a new fastest lap of a 26.5 for Max. Of course, I know there'll be some critics that will say Norris could be more aggressive and all that, but let's be honest. McLaren do not need Norris to win today. They just need Norris and Piastri to stay ahead of Ferrari, and that's it. And I think that's what they're most comfortable at doing. What they should do in terms of like trying to challenge for a driver's title, I don't know. I think that's a question to be asked in the future, but it's all looking good for the Papaya boys. I have to say, I don't feel we're going to see much overtaking in this race, to be honest, unfortunately, because it's a very, very twisty technical track. It's almost shaped like a glove. Like, think about it. It's like you stick your fingers out, and it's like they just drew the circuit layout around their fingers. If you think about it, that's what QATAR looked like to me.
Stroll has, yeah, has been called in. I think it was the third car. So been called in for the second time in laps.
Stroll appears has been given a call to go to the pits. Oh dear, Aston Martin have got problems. Zhou's up to 13th.
Alonso losing a lot of ground here to Gasly.
And Gasly is pulling away from Alonso, who is now going to be fighting the two steak burgers behind him. Adrian Newey could not come soon enough for this, the boys in green. I cannot effing believe it. 2 years with the same effing problem on the straights. Oh dear, that Aston Martin doesn't have a lot of straight line speed, it appears. Can't utilise DRS. Lance Stroll wants to take off front wing. Well, he's going to be coming out again. That's his second pit stop in 8 laps for Lance Stroll. That is Ferrari are falling behind Piastri, who has got a nearly 3 seconds in his pocket over Leclerc. Hamilton is all over the back of Perez. Tsunoda is holding up a gaggle of cars. Magnussen, Gasly, Alonso, and of course the two Saubers. Not good. I mean, Stroll is only a few corners away from being lapped, by the way. Really, really. Mind you, Stroll's fastest lap is only a 30.9. That is almost 3 seconds slower than Alonso's fastest lap of a 28.0. Yeah, Stroll, I think Stroll might have to resign a car because I think there's clearly damage on his car or something. And to be honest, this is just a waste of time.
Okay, race control has noted the Hamilton is for a false start. We haven't seen that. Let's see what that's all about. Maybe we will get a replay of that. Yeah, let's check that out. Right now,
Fault stop for Hamilton. Oh dear. Not only did he make a bad stop, but apparently it appears he jumped the lights, which, oh my god. Yeah, I predicted it. Stroll is going to retire, obviously, no surprise. But Hamilton, I can only guess he's made the same mistake Kimi once made about 4 years ago, where he reacted too quickly at the start lights, and then he stopped his car having moved past the yellow markers in to try to avoid jumping the start, but it was already too late because he triggered the sensor. So Hamilton ended up messing up the start of his race because you can tell he's now 39 years old with the way he reacts and drives. Like, he's no longer got that same flying speed over 1 lap. You know, 4 tenths slower than Russell in qualifying. Max Verstappen's new fastest lap, 26.2 flat. Yeah, I think all Norris should do is just focus on getting second place, and I think that'll be a good job. I've already said enough about Lance Stroll in general. To be honest, I don't really like talking about him. You all know what I think about him. It's the same as almost every other fan in F1. Lando Norris, new fastest lap, 25.97. 1,000th of a second quicker than Verstappen. Incredible stuff there. As it stands, Verstappen remains in the lead of the Grand Prix. Lawson is now in last place with Stroll stuck in the pits. Gotta say, I don't understand what's happened to Hulkenberg because Magnussen is the one who's been pushing at the front since the sprint, since qualifying. But Magnussen is holding up a few cars, though, albeit they're all directly behind Tsunoda, but Magnussen cannot pull away from Tsunoda. And Sauber, I have to say, look very good this weekend, surprisingly enough. This is probably Sauber's best chance of getting a point for quite a while. If they can get this pit strategy correct, obviously, which is something they've been terrible at all season. Gasly apparently had to avoid an accident with Tsunoda there. Oh. What did a guinea pig say to the bus, to the lollipop lady at the bus stop? I'm not Lance Stroll. The only battle we've got on track is Perez in front of Hamilton and Tsunoda holding up Gasly. Jos Verstappen says the Red Bull team can bring Sergio Perez back to form with a more neutral car. I'm not even going to bother commenting on that. Lando Norris quit. Max Verstappen could have a great career as a comedian. Oh yeah, I read that 3 days ago. After Max claimed he would have actually won the title sooner had he drove the McLaren. God, honestly. Mick Schumacher will depart the Mercedes reserve role at the end of the season, it appears. Not really sure what's the point of having Mick there, to be honest. I am so sorry. I missed out your comments. Hamilton, 5-second penalty. No, no. Alonso has overtaken Tsunoda for 11th. Gasly's got up to 10th. Gasly's overtaken Tsunoda. Tsunoda's the one sliding back. And now Gasly is in pursuit of Magnussen. 5-second penalty for Hamilton. Yes, I did correct you there. Hamilton, Tsunoda was the one who's falling back. Having said that, I'm not have to say. I almost wish it was FA Cup day every day after having watched Kettering give us a pretty good show against Doncaster. And of course, they beat League One Northampton Town in the previous round. So, new fastest lap for Leclerc, 25.66. I hate to sound grumpy, but to be honest, it feels like what has been a decent 2024 F1 season is becoming something of an anticlimax. And I think even if Norris has a bad race in Abu Dhabi and always Piastri, they're probably going to, I mean, McLaren will probably win the Constructors' title anyway now. So, barring any disasters, I think this is now formality for the boys in orange. Hence why I'm not that excited. Of course, we all wish we were having a title showdown between Norris and Verstappen for the driver's title, but I think I've already said enough about those two. Zhou, mode race, good job. I can't even wait. Russell is holding up Piastri. Ferrari continue falling back. Perez continues to hold up Hamilton. Magnussen and Gasly fighting for 9th. Tsunoda has fallen behind Zhou and is now holding up Bottas. I think it's safe to say RB have got no pace this weekend. 17th, lap 17. Sorry, let me just pull up my screen again. Verstappen is leading the race. New fastest lap, 25.5 for Norris. Have I got a new joke? Yes. QATAR. The land of oil. The land of money laundering. And apparently yesterday FIFA did an internal investigation over how it handled the 2022 World Cup, and it found itself innocent of any wrongdoing. Surprise Pikachu face. 25.39 for Lando Norris. If he does win the race from the position he's in, I think that might seal the constructors for McLaren at this race. I'm trying to count the points. If Norris overtakes Verstappen, there'll be 38 points for McLaren. And Ferrari already got 18 points in the bag. So that would take McLaren to a 50-point lead in the constructors, which would, well, it would get the job done for the constructors win. So as it stands, I think McLaren, oh no, Verstappen's taking the fastest lap point now, 25.08. So, and of course, I think McLaren are actually only leading Ferrari by 42 points as it stands. Which is not enough yet for McLaren to seal the constructors. But it does mean that I think McLaren would only need they're leading by 42 points. So, I mean, McLaren would only need about 3 points in Abu Dhabi to get the job done now. Having said that, I think obviously since Norris is driving for the team, I don't think he's going to be like super aggressive or like do anything stupid in terms of trying to wrestle the lead off Verstappen. And I think the team have told him just to drive his own race, and I think that's probably the best piece of advice. I know I've already said that before. I don't see any order changes, to be honest. It is a bit... It really does feel like a dead rubber race, despite the fact we still have a constructors title going on, but it just doesn't fire up the synapses, those neurons in the frontal lobes like a driver's title fight does, I'm afraid. It just doesn't really get your heart racing, I'm afraid. Even though, of course, Norris and Piastri are trying as hard as they can. Bottas overtakes Tsunoda. Oh, okay. I'm just about 30 seconds behind. Yeah, I think coming onto the straight now, Bottas has got Tsunoda going into turn one. Yes. Bottas takes P13. Thank you for informing me. Yeah. Magnussen holding on to P9. Hulkenberg is complaining about dirty air behind Albon's Williams. If you got any updates about the football games, please tell me, because I'm gonna have to make a few other lame jokes. Max Verstappen. It's the Dutch Michael Schumacher. I'm running out of jokes now. 24.896 is Verstappen's new fastest lap. Purple sector 2 for Verstappen. And I've got to say it, the leaders are really now lowering the fastest lap time. Hamilton has dropped off from Perez 2.5 seconds. Gasly has decided to back off from Magnussen to cool his own tyres. And my God, I think the heat and the temperatures have really got to the cars and the drivers now. I know last year there were a lot of drivers struggling to extract themselves from their vehicles due to the extreme humidity. Now, obviously, this race is being held in December compared to October last season, but it is still a very hot track, and I think not only are the drivers managing the cars and the tyres, but they're also managing their own physical condition. So, once again, the question has to be asked, why do we have a race in Qatar? I know the real reasons why, but of course, Norris, fastest lap, 24.865. Taking tiny, but still maintaining a sub 2-second gap between himself and race leader Max Verstappen. Russell is clearly holding up Piastri because, of course, the two Ferraris are beginning to close in on Russell and Piastri themselves. 23 laps into the race. I wonder if BBC have got anything interesting to say, because we're talking about tyre wear. McLaren's tyres tend to come alive towards the end of a stint. Running low tyre pressures and taking a long curve makes you susceptible to a puncture. What was that? Russell Pitts, thank you. Tyre pressures is going to be key around this track. I'm sure it's going to be a one-stop race. Oh, boring. Yep, I'm going to see it now. I think I'm at least 30 seconds behind you, say. Yes, Russell does pit. Thank you for informing me early. And Russell will tumble down the order. Please ignore Russell's position of P3 on this timing map. He will drop down to 8th place at the minimum, with Magnussen and Gasly probably going to stream past him as well, and possibly Alonso. Sorry, I didn't notice what you just said there, say. Russell comes out ahead just behind Alonso in P11. And just, oh, he's come out in front of Zhou. So, Russell, that's not really works out that well for Russell. And Piastri now gets fresh air in P3, sorry. 7 seconds stop. Yes, I did see it. God, that was terrible. That was absolutely abysmal by the Silver Arrows. Considering of Russell is the one in front, further ahead of the pack than Hamilton, that is really poor. And Russell will be telling his team what he thinks of that. Zhou has been told that Priscilla had a new heart. I don't know what that code word is for, but who knows? Who knows what Priscilla had a new heart means at Sauber? Because the 3 years Kimi spent at Sauber, I had no idea what on earth they were trying to tell Kimi half the time. Fastest lap Norris, 24.67. Slowly nibbling away at Verstappen again, but not really getting close enough to make the Dutchman even have the tiniest bead of sweat come down his forehead. I mean, have you noticed, every time Max Verstappen steps out of his Red Bull and takes his helmet off and his balaclava and hands device off his chest, there is no bead of sweat on his forehead. his face is just completely dry. It looks the same as it did when he entered the car like 90 minutes ago. The guy, the kid is an alien. We're dealing with an alien here. Like, this is not real. How the hell did Mercedes screw that up? My God. I mean, if that was like a 3-second stop, I mean, Russell would be in front of Gasly and Alonso. That was a very early pit stop, by the way, as well, so... Oh my word, it's racist. Don't want to say it. I suppose if we get a safety car, maybe we might get more action, but it's not exactly a thriller right now, is it? Bottas has pitted, I've just seen it. I think I've had more entertainment sitting on an aeroplane for 14 hours than what I'm doing right now watching this race. I told you, the worst type of air flights are the ones that you have to do a long distance journey from somewhere like Amsterdam to Hong Kong, and your screen goes blank. So you have to sit there and read a book for like 12 hours. What did I see over the news this week? Oh yeah, Kate Nash, British pop star that I was forced to listen to back in the day about when I was a kid, has announced that she has an OnlyFans account where I think essentially her fans are just going to pay for her tours. I know people thought that she was going to be sending out nudes to like old men, but I think after all the Conservatives had their meltdown, I think it's become a bit clear that they're not going to be fully explicit pictures. They're just going to be pictures of, I don't know, her with like a new pair of stockings, and most of her fans who are heterosexual women are just going to pay for it, and they're going to be sitting there trying to wind people up about it. Mostly conservatives and mostly just people who are not fans of Kate Nash, so which is mostly quite a lot of men, straight men. I mean, for me, the whole thing is a bit like Bud Light all over again, where they chuffed in and Mulvaney to wind people up, and they've got the attention they wanted. It's all not a storm in a teacup, but and I've got to say, if there's one thing I've got to criticise Conservatives for, is the fact that they do get triggered by these sort of things, by these sort of publicity stunts quite a fair bit, when frankly they shouldn't even pay attention. Magnussen pits, yes, Magnussen's in the pits, yep. Sorry for that, me going off topic, going off on a tangent, because Gasly is now up to 8th place. Alonso is in 9th. Russell is all over the back of the Aston Martin. Oh, now we're getting a bit of action. And Bottas is now on the verge of being lapped by Verstappen. Bloody hell, I suddenly woke up. I don't know why I went on that tangent. I thought some of you might be interested, because I know Sarah Gara likes to randomly name drop pop stars into my chat all the time. I don't know whether he's ever heard of Kate Nash. She's most known for that song called Foundations and Makeup. Yeah. Well, I know you've spent time living in America and South Africa, so you know the flight journeys between those two countries is almost as long as going between the UK and Hong Kong. Not only that, I've had to do like flight journeys where I've had to do a pit stop at Qatar, at Doha, and then take another flight to go to Australia soon afterwards. So I know what it's like to spend an entire 24 hours being stuck on an airplane. It is grim. It's grim. Thankfully, though, those two flights didn't see me have any technical issues, but I have seen people have technical issues and they'll either be forced to stare at a travel map, where of course they show you the tracking data of where the airplane is flying to or around, or they'll switch the screen off if they can't even view that and just read a book. Or fall asleep. Oh, double yellow flag going into turn 1. Bottas is a lap down, but... Oh, no yellow flags now. Oh, there's a yellow flag again. Track clear. Oh, okay. Oh, I don't know what's going on down in the front start finish straight. It's like a yellow flag flashing. I don't know what's going on. How many drivers have done a pit stop? I think 4 drivers have pitted. Both Haas's of Hulkenberg, Magnussen, Bottas, and of course Russell. But that's the only car in the top 10 that's pitted. In fact, because of that publicity stunt that Kate Nash did with her OnlyFans account, I actually started listening to some of her old music again from like 15 years ago. Of course, I did see a lot of comments saying, oh, someone lost a bit of their card that going down into turn 1. I think so, yeah. I think you're right. I will say there were a lot of comments on Kate Nash's track saying chaff-tastic because of a really broad London accent. I know a lot of people have described it as being a Mockney accent because she actually went to a private school. It's just basically her probably got a pretend working class London accent. I don't know why I'm talking about this because I really am struggling for conversational topics today. I mean, you should be thankful I'm talking about this because otherwise, you know what I'm like. I could, I like to listen to death metal in my spare time. Like, do you really want me to start talking about bands like Chuck Schuldiner and his old band Death and Control Denied before, of course, he tragically passed away in 2001. Like, it's me indulging in nostalgia at this point. Like, or even worse, I start talking about My Chemical Romance, which, by the way, yes, I did hear the news that their former drummer, Bob Bryer, tragically passed away last month, but apparently when his body was found in his home, he was apparently, like, a lot of his remains were decomposing, so a lot of people think he actually passed away a month before the police found his remains. New fastest lap, Max Verstappen 24.413. Rest in peace to Bob Bryer, once formerly of My Chemical Romance. Very, very sad story, I've got to say. And I think that's pretty clear that the guy didn't even stay in contact with any friends or family in the months leading up to his death. So I don't know what happened there. Really tragic. I think he passed away at the age of just 45 years old. I think apparently he was having all sorts of health issues leading up to his death. and he was sending some very worrying comments out on social media. Apparently, I don't even think he commented on social media for at least about 12 months before his passing. I am really trying my hardest to fill up the gaps in this race. Please give me a like, because no one has actually pressed the like button. I know I am not using my own timing screen, but that's because I mean, the title fight is over. There's not really much point me writing any details down, I'm afraid. We all know McLaren should honestly win the Constructors' title, because even with Norris and Piastri struggling, I don't think they're going to throw this away, because, I mean, Ferrari are not really that great a team in general. It's not like fighting Max Verstappen for the World Championship. Max Verstappen is just an absolute phenomenon. Extraordinary driver. Thank you for giving me the like. It means a lot. I mean, I had 3 likes given to me for my FA Cup stream for the Kettering Town versus Doncaster Rovers game. Well, I didn't even bother talking because I just wanted everyone to be able to hear the crowd noise for that game. Because I've got to say, the Kettering Town fans were 11 out of 10 for the boys, the atmosphere they created. Verstappen, new fastest lap, 24.35. And let's face it, I mean, they created, amongst less than 3,000 people, they created far more crowd noise than you would ever probably hear at an F1 race in Qatar, Bahrain, Saudi Arabia. Heck, you know, the big football teams. Man City, I've never heard that sort of noise from Man City. And there's even parts of like Arsenal, Emirates, Tottenham, and West Ham's Olympic stadiums, which basically just sound like libraries at this point. And of course, we are at a stage where Hamilton has a puncture. Oh, right, a mirror fell off before turn 1. And yes, I know, obviously, Amy Winehouse passed away 13 years ago. I have to say, I was not a fan of Amy Winehouse, and I did say something horribly insulting about her when she passed away back in 2011, obviously. Like, really nasty, rude comment I put on my Facebook back in the day, which I'm not proud of. Hamilton's got a puncher, yeah, and Hamilton's been overtaken by Gasly. Sainz has got a puncher. Oh my word, there's a lot of damage. I think there's a lot of debris on the track. Sainz and Hamilton in trouble. Hamilton down to 10th. Oh my goodness. I think they're going to have to throw a virtual safety car, mate, because there's debris on the track. People have got problems, and I think this I've said it before. I don't understand why they race in Las Vegas, and again, I don't even understand why F1 races in Qatar. How the hell we got 2 punches out of nowhere? Like, what's going on with this track? Hamilton down to 11th place. I think I need to refresh my screen. And what the hell is real Ferdinand doing? Safety. Yes, I called it. Safety car out. I did say it. There's too much debris on the track. Like, this is not acceptable. Oh my God, we need to safety car. In the pits, Verstappen and Norris. Verstappen and Norris have timed their pit stops to perfection. Norris, is that Norris in front? Oh no, no. Sorry. Leclerc's in the pits. Hamilton comes out a lap down. That's 2 lap calls in between Verstappen and Norris, the 2 former Mercedes teammates of Hamilton and Bottas. Separate Verstappen and Norris on the track, and I think the FIA might well do the lucky dog rule for both of them so that we can have a clear fight between Max and Lando. Hulkenberg has been picked up on a safety car. The safety car will allow Hulkenberg to be waved past, and I think he'll do the same for Hamilton and Bottas. Cool, a lap down. Sainz is down to 10th place. Hamilton 16th. What a disaster for those 2 drivers. There's clearly debris on the track. I think obviously a few laps ago, someone lost their mirror. I don't know which car lost their mirror. We still have not identified the culprit. And I think someone ran over the mirror and has caused shards of carbon fiber to be spread over the track. QATAR, you've got problems. This is not a good track. I said it. I mean, when you have a track that is shaped like a hand, like a glove, is it really a good track to race at? I'm not sure. It's like a kid got his hand out, put his hand on a piece of paper, and got a pencil and just drew around it. Like, come on, honestly, what are we doing here? As of course the great Sebastian Vettel would say, what are we doing here? I mean, I suppose we've actually got a bit of entertainment now because of all these the safety car coming out. Because I really was on the verge of falling asleep again like I did yesterday. Like, I'm sorry for falling asleep yesterday. I mean, I left my phone on for like 4 hours. I didn't say anything. I do appreciate being called the GOAT by Sarah Garrett live on stream, by the way, but I was fast asleep. Probably because you heard me snoring. I was knackered. I was just so tired. Bottas, it will pit again, and he's going to go on the mediums. Everyone is being told to put the pit speed limiter on for some reason, as if, I mean, we've had pit lane limiters in the sport for like 30 years now, since, of course, that tragic 1994 season. Is that new tyres again? For Norris? What's going on? Pit out for the whole top 6. I mean, Verstappen, Norris, and Leclerc pitted again. That's weird. So with Hamilton and Bottas. What's going on? Everyone's changing their mind, and now everyone wants to go on the hard tyres. Hulkenberg is on a soft compound. No, Albon's on a soft compound, I beg your pardon. What's going on there? Is that Albon trying to use up his alternate tyre compound? I think that could be. Zhou is up to 9th place, ahead of Alonso. Interesting developments there, folks. 21 laps remaining. Pitting before the safety car has costed Piastri. Not really, no. Oh, Hamilton's crying again. Like I said, the debris is causing the punctures. I did say that broken mirror definitely has caused problems. That once again, the FIA gonna FIA again. Alonso pits again for mediums, and he's wheel to wheel with Magnussen. What the hell? Zhou's got, my lord, everyone's just pitting now, like I don't know, Noah's Ark at this point. Lap cars can overtake the safety car. That's Hamilton, Bottas released. My God. Zhou is in P9. Zhou Stake might finally grab a couple of points in the penultimate race of the season, thanks to departing Chinese driver Zhou Guanyu. I have to say, he's actually had a good race today. Credit where credit's due. He's actually been all right. But look at that. Gasly's in 6th. Sorry, say. Yeah, I did say it. Zhou's in 9th. No point us being in a race if the guy, the stewards, and the FIA don't do their jobs according to Sir Lewis Hamilton. Sir Lewis Crybaby, as I like to call him, because my goodness me, Lewis does love to have a good strop when he's angry. Well, you can be thankful for the fact the FIA do have the lucky dog rule in F1, where, of course, if you're a lap car behind the safety car, you are free to unlap yourself. "19 laps remaining. How long are we going to be cleaning up debris now?" What else happened this week that I'm going to start talking about instead? I don't know. Keir Starmer suddenly went all full on Brexit/Trump when he started talking about immigration levels being way too high into Britain, which is like, I don't know what to say there, Starmer. Like, are you trying to, like, win people over now because obviously your approval rating's gone down in the British surveys, and the fact that you are, like, apparently talking to the scene, having banter with Nigel Farage of all people in Parliament? I don't know what's going on anymore in this world. To be honest, I was not surprised when Donald Trump got re-elected. To be honest, I would have been more shocked if Kamala actually won the election. Perez has got a problem. Perez! Oh my goodness, Perez is dropping like a fly. Russell's up to 6th. Perez in trouble. Perez, what's happened? Malfunction. The lights have malfunctioned for Perez in his car. Oh my, wow. Norris is going around the outside of Verstappen, and into the lead goes Lando Norris. Oh, Verstappen has got it back. Verstappen getting stuck in there. Gasly up to 7th. What? Oh no, Gasly's dropped to 7th, I beg your pardon. Terrible restart by Gasly, who failed to capitalise upon Perez's issues. As Russell's up to 5th. Perez has spun. Don't know what's going on. Oh, Gasly's taken 6th for Sainz. And Perez, oh wow, are we going to get another safety car? Perez, I think, is in a dangerous position. Just before turn 16, he stopped. Oh man, we've got another VSC deployed. VSC deployed. This race has livened up. I was moaning about this race being boring to the point where I started talking about things that completely unrelated to F1. And Hulkenberg stopped. Wow, chaos central today in F1. Chaos Central in Qatar. We've got a bit of a race going on now. Perez and Hulkenberg out of the race. What's happened to Hulkenberg? My goodness me, what is going on with this Qatar track in Losail? The track, shaped like a hand, is providing us chaos and drama tonight. And we've got 54 minutes remaining before the checkered flag has to come out due to time limits. But of course, there's only 17 laps remaining. Lando Norris is back in front. I will say I did think Kamala Harris actually would probably... I don't know. I think I didn't expect Donald Trump to dominate the election, though. I was a bit surprised at how easily he won, though. I knew he would win, but I didn't think he'd win by like a landslide, which really does speak volumes about how unpopular his opponent really was. But enough of US politics. That's been done for a month now. Both RBs have gone to the pits. 2 soft tyres there for Tsunoda and Lawson. Albon's on the soft tyres. I don't know why he's done that. Some weird strategies going on at Qatar, I've got to say. RB, I think they're just throwing the dice. They're just rolling the dice at this point. Look at that race order, folks. Verstappen leads Norris. Leclerc 3rd. Piastri 4th. So that's 30 points for McLaren. And that's 21 points for Ferrari. Yep, the former Force India teammates are out of the race. I mean, McLaren will extend their constructors' lead to 39 points, which, okay, that's actually kind of not as good as what it was about 20 odd laps ago, but of course that means McLaren only need 6 points at Abu Dhabi to seal their first constructors' title in 26 seasons of Formula 1, and it will be their first constructors' win of the 21st century, remarkably enough. Gasly back up to 6th. I mean, Gasly all over the place, but I think this is probably about another good result for Alpine, and I think this result will take Alpine back up into P6 for the constructors. And yes, Stake are finally delivering a couple of points onto the board. Although it is a case of too little too late for Zhou in terms of rescuing his career, so I think the celebrations for Zhou will be fairly muted, knowing that this is his penultimate race in the sport. I think Albon will be kicking himself for the fact that he's outside the points despite all the retirements. He has improved his form, but I think Zhou and Magnussen have pulled off a blinder. And of course, Gasly once again, truly outstanding. Just outdriving the Alpine. 15 laps remaining. Gasly, we need fail Bravo 00 off. I don't know what that means, but apparently they're going to be resetting their operations out not only in the Gasly's car, but as the team as a whole, since Mercedes will be out, the high-tech brand will be in for next season. No more Vive la France at Team Edstone. Apart from their lead driver, obviously. Mercedes in, Renault out. Safety car in, safety car in. I think some of you might have already seen the safety car come in. Verstappen is now the new safety car. He will control the pace of the race. I apologise, I'm 30 seconds behind, but the track is clear. We're going to see Verstappen warm those tyres up and pull away and try and keep Norris at bay this time. It's green, green, green here at Qatar. 15 laps remaining. Great start by Max this time. I think there's an overtaking attempt. Oh, Albon's in the top 10. Great restart by Albon. Overtakes Magnussen, and Hamilton's down to 13th. Oh, and Hamilton's down to 14th. Oh man, Hamilton is having another nightmare of a race. I'm not really sure how much you can use Mercedes, Hamilton checking out Mercedes as an excuse now. I think this is Hamilton who's past his best, and I think that Ferrari contract is going to be his pension package. I think Hamilton's just given up on Formula 1 in general. Gasly, sorry, what did you say? I didn't... Gasly has a vibration? Are you kidding? Oh my god. Oh my, what? Are you kidding me, Alpine? We've got 2 strikes. We need to watch track limits for Gasly. 1 for turn 7, 1 for turn 14. What's going on? Obviously, my time feed is about 30 seconds behind, so Gasly's in 6th place, by the way. I mean, he's got to watch track limits at turn 7 and turn 14. Oh, living dangerously now. There's sparks coming out Gasly's car. My god, what's going on here? DRS enabled for many cars over the grid. My god, I'm actually getting nervous. I didn't think I'd be feeling this a few laps ago. Someone has got a 10-second stop and go penalty. Wait, is it Lando Norris or Albon that's got a 10-second stop and go penalty? Bloody hell, that's the second worst penalty you could get after a black flag, which is obviously disqualification. 23.47 is Lando Norris's new fastest lap. Carlos trying to overtake Gasly. Oh my word. Oh god, I'm feeling very uncomfortable. I feel like I need to go to the toilet. point. If I'm not careful, I might make a voice that sounds even more constipated than your local hardcore band singer at this point. So it's Albon that got a penalty. Wait, what's going on? Norris speeding in the pit lane. Oh my god. Oh my goodness. Dear God. Yep, the Constructors' Championship fight is going to Abu Dhabi. What the hell is that radio message there from Zhou? Leave me alone, mate. I'm an effing posse. Okay, that's... My God, Zhou really does have some strange radio messages, I've got to say, that young lad. Piastri into podium places. Gasly up to 5th. Wow. Wow. Gasly vibration. My God, Gasly is doing an amazing job hanging on to that god-awful Alpine. Can't wait for Renault to get lost, to be honest. I mean, the only thing French about Alpine for 2025 will be Mr. Gasly, because Renault will leave. Ollie Oaks is now team principal. Flavio Briatore is basically deputy team principal, even though it's not like written in his contract, even though he's actually technically an advisor, but he's basically deputy team principal at this point, and everything is so much better at Team Enstone. Verstappen will probably win the race now. Not that that was ever in doubt, but Norris is down in 15th place. We need to reach... What the hell is going on? Oh, my word. Lando Norris, well, how do I say this? My expectations were low, but holy F-U-C-K. This is just... I'm out of words for Lando. Like, the Constructors' title was there for the taking. He didn't slow down during the yellow flags. Oh my goodness me. Oh. Even when there's no pressure on Lando, he still makes mistakes. Like, oh my word. So how many points is that? 15 points for McLaren. 26 points for Ferrari. So the gap between McLaren and Ferrari will now be reduced to 19 points going to Abu Dhabi. Oh my goodness me. I think, yeah. Oh my goodness me. Oh my God. You only had one job, Lando, and that was to finish in 2nd place. You don't need to win the race today. I think Lando Norris fans need to wake the F up. Like, what sort of mistakes are these? Seriously, like, he doesn't even need to beat Max. Like, I thought this would be easier for Lando to deal with on a mental level, because, like, he doesn't need to fight Max or anything. Like, why does he not just drive his own race? Just get points on the board for your team to guarantee the Constructors' title and nothing else. Just drive a solid race. But no, Lando has to cop a 10-second penalty. Oh my God. Oh my word. Oh my goodness me. I thought I had said everything that I could ever say about Lando Norris. You know, my expectations were low, but holy F, he has gone and lowered them even further. And now he is stuck in the very rock, the very stone of what we call rock bottom. He is stuck inside the stone off the rock bottom. He's now inside the ground. He's not sitting on top of rock bottom. He's inside of the stone of rock bottom. Oh my goodness me. Oh my, he's buried himself in stone now. This is new fastest lap to car number 4, 22.936. I think even Lance Stroll would be embarrassed by making these sort of mistakes at this point. Albon overtaken by Magnussen. Magnussen is now P9. Albon is in P10. Zhou will be scoring 4 points today for Sauber. What a remarkable race. But Sauber will still finish last. I'm sorry, John. I know what you're feeling. Goodness me. 22.64 for car number 4, new fastest lap, but it doesn't mean anything because he's 10 seconds behind Albon, who's in P10, and he's only got 9 laps left, and he needs to overtake at least 3 other cars in front of him before he even can challenge Albon, so... cringe. Pure cringe, honestly. I'm cringing now for Lando. He is now... Do you know where I had actually put Lando on my driver's ranking before this race? I'd actually put him in P7, but at this point, I'm now actually going to consider dropping Lando Norris even further down my driver's ranking because that is just borderline comical. That is something that a Formula 3 driver would commit in their first race in this, like a Formula 3 driver that gets promoted to Formula 2 and they speed in the pit lane in their first ever Formula 2 race during the pit stop cycle. Crazy. Absolutely bonkers. Wow. McLaren, you had one job, Lando, and that was just to finish second place. You don't need to win the race. You only need to focus on banking points for McLaren for their constructors' title. Nothing else. And you can't even do that. Crazy. You're not even paying attention anymore. This kid doesn't even pay attention. Like, you cannot deal with, like, any sort of multitasking. It's crazy. How? We're talking the bare minimum. We're talking the bare basics. And now Leclerc is only 3 points behind Norris in the driver's standings. Oh my word. Norris might well fail to finish runners up at this point. Oh my god. Oh my. And I have to say, I think Will F1 has been 150% justified in his criticism of Lando Norris. Lando is just... I don't even know if a psychological coach can help Lando Norris. He's up to 13th place now, Lando Norris, but it never rains for Lando. It just keeps on pouring. Goodness me, Max Verstappen is going to laugh his head off when he gets onto that podium and he realises Lando Norris isn't even going to be there. Lando Norris, I mean, Max is going to laugh when he realises that Lando Norris isn't even on the podium because he sped in the pit lane. Well, I mean, in many ways, yeah, I actually think Formula 1 is still exciting, but it's exciting mostly because of Lando's ineptitude. He never ceases to amaze me at how bad he can be. Was Red Bull in on the snitch? I don't know. Probably. Well, I mean, the FIA have got their sensors and everything. So, I mean, if they can detect Lando speeding, they'll detect him speeding. That is just hilarious, to be honest. I feel very sorry for McLaren fans having to deal with Lando Norris's neurotic and irritating fan base because, you know, stupid tweets like, I have never seen Lando Norris get as much hate as any other, no other driver has ever received as much hate as Lando Norris, but he's absolutely comical. Like, this is Comedy Central. At this point, I think Lando Norris will not even do post-race interviews. I think Lando Norris won't even bother talking to journalists after this race because where the hell can he put... Like, how can he face the media after this? You've got to laugh because it's that bad. We're in a position where Gasly is probably going to seal, what's it, 6th place in the Constructors for Alpine because of this result. Despite Magnussen driving a great race, getting 2 points in 9th place, and Zhou will be scoring 4 points. And look at that. Bottas is all over the back of Albon, and Bottas will take P10. That's going to be 5 points for Steak Sauber. Of course, Lando Norris is all over the back of him, but of course, he might actually lose that point because we've only got 5 laps to go. So, yeah, Norris might still score a point somehow. Norris overtakes Albon inevitably. Oh, my God. Obviously, I know Lando's going to get a point at least. And I don't think he's got enough time to catch Magnussen, but... This is almost like Mika Häkkinen's performance at the 1999 European Grand Prix at Nürburgring, where Häkkinen drove like a clown the whole race and yet somehow managed to score 2 points that day. I mean, Norris likewise has driven like a buffoon, and yet somehow he'll scrape himself into a points position, which he does not deserve. 4 laps remaining. I cannot believe what I've just seen with Lando. Seriously? Of course, I know McLaren and Norris will probably complain about the penalty being too severe, but you've got to realise with, of course, no more pit stops remaining, this is the only way the FIA can... I mean, obviously, I know some would say, well, a 5-second penalty, but we have to realise it did come under the safety car, the speeding offence, so... Hilarious. Absolutely hilarious. Of course, McLaren are now going to be taking 16 points out of this race. So... they will lead the Constructors by 20 points coming into Abu Dhabi. So they've actually still got a bit of work to do at Abu Dhabi to seal the Constructors title, but my word. In a race where they could have practically have more or less got the job completely done. And of course, with a 20-point lead... I mean, had Norris remained where he was in 2nd place, I think all McLaren would probably lead like 1 car to finish the race at Abu Dhabi. Like, even if Norris had a screw up like he's just had today, they could get away with it in Abu Dhabi because they only need like 5 points. But now they've got to actually get both cars finishing ahead of Ferrari yet again, or near Ferrari Abu Dhabi once again. So... crazy, hilarious, nonsense, farcical, buffoonery. I'm going to have a lie down because I think this is just biblical in how comical it really is. It's just... 2 laps remaining. I don't know what that message is all about. shambolic, correct. When was the last time speeding on a double yellow flag was a 10-second stop-go penalty? I don't know, but to be fair, though, I am a bit confused by the penalty. Like, is that really worth a 10-second stop-go? Was it that bad a breach of the regulations? Having said that, though, Lando Norris, had he not made a mistake, would not be in a position to be punished this heavily. So I think Zach Brown will definitely come and criticise the FIA, but I think the issue we have is that Lando Norris once again made another costly mistake at the worst possible moment. And he has to take responsibility. I don't care. Like, and this was like, today, Lando Norris has been told we've had one strike. You know what it was. Oh dear, McLaren really are on tight strings with Lando. Oh dear, wow. Final lap. Max Verstappen must be giggling his face. Like, when he crosses the finish line, I bet you he's going to burst into laughter at how easy today's win was. Oh my goodness me. Piastri, having been jumped by Leclerc during the pit stops. Oh, another McLaren strategic failure there. It never rains, it always pours at Woking. Even when the driver's fight is over, Lando is still finding himself in hot water. New fastest lap, 22.38 for Lando. A full almost a second quicker than everyone else, but he's ran out of laps, hasn't he? He'll only get 1 point for today's work. Max, about to cross the line now to celebrate his 9th win of the season. Clearly the best driver on the grid. There's no question about it. Second will be Leclerc. Third, Piastri. Fourth, Russell. Albon is a lap down in 15th. Gasly finishes 5th, ahead of Sainz in 6th. Alonso 7th. And over the line in 8th place, it is Zhou Guanyu, scoring 4 points for what probably will be his final points finish in Formula 1. 9th is Kevin Magnussen, also could be his last points finish. Lando takes a point in 10th. The less said, the better. Bottas will narrowly miss out on a point. Coming over the line now in 11th place, but no points for the finish. 10-time Grand Prix winner. 12th, Lewis Hamilton. 13th and 14th, Tsunoda and Lawson. Doing a 17-lap stint on the soft tyres. Don't know why they even bothered. They've run out of ideas, haven't they? I'm about to make a bubble again at Piastri's radio. Well, your team has lost points in the constructors' fight, so I don't think they'll be that happy. We're all still to play for in Abu Dhabi, according to Sean Leclerc's radio. And Zhou is the happiest man at the checkered flag. That is probably going to be his goodbye present from Formula 1, it seems. I haven't seen Magnussen's radio. Gasly's been told to minimise throttle usage. I don't know what's going on in his Alpine. He's clearly had to creep towards the line. Sorry, I missed out that message. I think you're going to have to try and comment again so that I read it out. I think Magnussen has just said nothing, despite finishing 9th. I think Haas are not that happy because they basically have lost P6 in the constructors because of Gasly's P5. What a remarkable end to what looked like a fairly dull race. Sorry, 2-1. Oh, right, you're watching the Viking game. Is that 2-0 to Liverpool? I can't keep all with what you're talking. Salah scored yet. Yeah, I told you Liverpool are going to win the title, but what a remarkable end to today's QATAR Grand Prix. Oh, Haas are 5 points behind Alpine in the constructors, so yeah, I think unless Haas have a miracle in the final race, I think Alpine are pretty much on their way to finishing P6, thanks to the superb driving talents of Mr. Pierre Gasly yet again. What a driver he is. What a performance. 5th place in that junk, in that absolute piece of garbage Alpine. Unbelievable performance. Driver of the day for me by some margin. I'm not even going to debate it. How is he driving like this? You know, his teammate Ocon is out there struggling, making simple errors, and yet Gasly is putting off miracles race after race. Unreal. And you know what? I think in a minute's time, I'm going to end the stream. I think obviously we've already checked out of the race. McLaren, I've seen their advantage over Ferrari reduced to just 20 points. If Max wins in Abu Dhabi, he will become the first driver to win 10 races for 4 consecutive seasons. What a driver Max Verstappen is. You know what? I've got to give my respect where it's due. Max Verstappen is one hell of a driver, and he's going to make it 4 championships in a row in a car that's going to finish 3rd in the constructors. Obviously, that's partly due to Perez's poor performances, but in terms of why Red Bull are going to finish so low down in the constructors, but I've run out of superlatives for Max Verstappen now. What a driver. What a special little driver he actually is. I am breathless. Obviously, Hulkenberg out of the race with some issue along with Perez. I don't know what happened to those two, but I think Perez was in the points, but of course his stoppage promoted loads of drivers into the points. Stroll, don't know what happened, mechanical issue. Colapinto and Ocon collided in the first lap. I think Colapinto's stock is slowly dropping, I'm afraid. I mean, I'm tempted to do driver rankings, but I think Pierre Gasly, man of the race, driver of the day. I think I'll just leave it at that. I don't really want to bother doing gradings, but I've got to say it. The flop of the day, the FDZ award winner of the day, the fraud detection zone winner has got to be... it's got to be Lando Norris. Truly, I'm just baffled. Like, okay, I know Colapinto and Ocon took each other's out in the first corner, but it was a racing incident. But Lando Norris, you had one job, and you somehow managed to cop a 10-second stop-go penalty for speeding under double-waved yellow flags and speeding in the pit lane. I think it was a double penalty, hence why you had to end up serving such a severe penalty. I think I'm not even going to say anymore because I'm disgusted, but I'm also cringing. I'm actually can't help but start laughing at you in the same way I've laughed at Lance Stroll for his mistake at Brazil. It's so cringeworthy. I don't even know what to say. It's just so embarrassing. 10th place it is for car number 4. Red Bull have averaged 9 wins since 2009. George Russell was given 5 seconds penalty at the checkered flag, but it will not affect his finishing position. Oh my god. Lando Norris doesn't know what he's doing anymore, isn't he? FDZ award to Hamilton. Yeah, you could say that, but to be honest, Hamilton's not even trying anymore, so like... I mean, Hamilton, I think, has just mentally has checked out of Mercedes and possibly has checked out of F1 altogether, because I think his last 2 years at Ferrari is just going to be a case of Hamilton chasing his pension fund at Scuderia Ferrari. I don't think Hamilton really cares about winning races or championships anymore. He's just doing it because he wants to just have... because he couldn't get the ambassadorial role that he wanted at Mercedes, so driving for Ferrari for 2 more years is the next best thing. As a Ferrari supporter, it could have been worse. Yes, it could have been worse, and you've been given a massive lifeline thanks to an absent-minded 25-year-old British driver yet again. And I think that's why you actually support Lando Norris so much, because like a charity shop worker, he keeps giving away presents for free. He is Santa Claus's great-great-grandson. I can't help but keep making jokes about Lando Norris, but I'm so bored right now. Like, I don't even know what to say. He could have had at least up to 10 race wins this year, even more than that, in my opinion. But yet he only has 3, and he's only about 3 or 4 points ahead of Charles Leclerc in the driver's standings to top it all off. So, bottle job engaged for Lando. It's like this season could not come to an end sooner. I think next weekend, when he gets out of the car, I think as long as McLaren somehow manage to seal the Constructors' title win, I think Lando Norris will be the most relieved driver, because I've never seen a driver struggle so much under pressure. Like, even if it's just about getting points for his team in the Constructors with the driver's title done and dusted, he still can't do that one job, get second place. But instead, he is still upset over losing the driver's title. He still wants to try and beat Max, even though he's not exactly up to Max's level. It's like, just focus on driving your own race. Stop being distracted by what everyone else is doing. It's quite simple. Hello there, Roxford. I hope you're doing well. Was that you, Roxford? Thank you for the like. I mean, I keep saying I'm going to sign off, but I can't help but keep ranting on about Lando Kamala Norris, as I like to call him. Kamala Lando Norris. Just, oh dear. Gaff after gaff after gaff. Mistake after mistake after mistake. It's just one stupid thing after another. And everyone will say that their opponents are a pair of thugs who have a foul mouth and all that, and they're both, I don't know, psychopaths, narcissists, you name it. But Norris, like Harris, just can't even challenge their opponents at all. It's just, ugh. funnily enough, I think Verstappen actually did a fastest lap towards the end of the race of a 22.9, but really he was just like, once he saw Norris disappear from his mirrors, I think he just was able to ease off the gas. Did he really need to push? No. And I think I will end it here at Crystal Racing. Thank you for watching. Like, subscribe, do all the usual stuff. And I'll see you again next time. Yeah, thank you, Roxford. Thank you very much. And Red Bull still in the Constructors' battle. I'm just, oh my word. Oh yeah, they got 25 points today. How could I forget? Oh my word, what the hell? 26 for Ferrari, 16 for McLaren. Oh my god, what absolute madness. You never know, Perez could well pull the rabbit out of the hat and save his own blushes, really, but nah, forget about it.